So let's talk a little bit about classes and objects in C++ and Unreal, right? So we've talked already about classes and objects, but just remember that a class is a programmer-defined data type where it represents a collection of data that we assign a label to, right? So the header defines the name of the class, and you'll find that in your .h file. And specifically, we start out the class by saying class, right? And then we give the label for what the class should be, curly braces, and then anything between these curly braces is part of that class. So when you create a class, it creates a class object. So you write your code, right? And then you press play. Before you create any objects, it will create something called a class object. That class object doesn't actually exist. It's not actually implemented. It's more of a template that gets used to create your objects, right? Your objects are the instances of that class. The process of making that those objects is called instantiation. So let's say we have a class for something called square. We'll have 4 sides, 4 corners. That's it. Each corner is 90 degrees. Each side should have the same length. This is given in English, but if you wrote it in code, it'd be referred to as the class. You're defining the different aspects of it. Your class object is this template that is created when you run your program and just exists as a empty space for you to fill in the actual objects. The template, cookie cutter. And then you have your 3 different objects, in this case, that are created. These are instances of the class object with their values filled in. These objects are instances of this ethereal class object. That's a little confusing, so oftentimes we just refer to objects as instances of the class. And this class object aspect is something that happens under the hood. Now, each of those objects is independent of each other. We know this, we've done this before, but basically what you do to one doesn't affect the others once they've been created or instantiated, right? So there's 3 objects, delete one of them, the other one still exists. I make one of them blue and move it, the other one that's there is still the way it was. They're treated as separate entities. In code, what does that look like? Well, here we have our class square with public scope, where we have the insides and in corners. Here are attributes here. And this is our class, where we define how to make the thing. Then you'll have the actual creation of your object. So we say the class name, square. Then we give our object its own identifier. In this case, square1. Right? And then after we've created that object, we can access the attributes and set values using something called dot notation. So square1 dot sides equals 4. So this is saying, hey, grab square1's attribute for sides and set it equal to 4. Now those attributes, what are they, right? So you made a Pokemon and you've set up your class, rather. The attributes are your variables. They're named elements that hold assigned values. Their whole job is to really be what the class is. It represents what the class is. What data is it collecting? So again, dot notation. What is that? Here we have a Pokemon object, Pikachu. Dot notation is that period right there, right? So Pikachu dot level. So we're saying, hey, go to the object that Pikachu refers to and get the level. So get Pikachu's level and then set it equal to 100 in this case. All that's well and good, but there's actually a step we have to do in order to actually make a class. We haven't done that yet. We need to actually make something of it. So we need to use something called a constructor. So a constructor method is a special kind of method that is used to define how our objects should be made. So the constructor is called when an object is instantiated. When you create your object, this is the thing that's called. And in here, you'll define your basic attribute. There's a special constructor that is there for every class. Even if you don't define it, it always exists. The compiler will put it in there for you. We don't want that. We should always define our default constructor. And to do that is really easy. We have Pokemon, and then this is our namespace, Pokemon. Then Pokemon, parentheses, curly brace, and anything inside of there is how we define it. Let's actually see that in practice and get that going. All right, so now back in our program, I have Pokemon.h pulled up, and I want to define the constructor. We define the constructor simply by writing well, first we do our scope public, right? We want our Pokemon constructor to be available to everything. And I'm going to set the name to Pokemon, parentheses, semicolon. And this is our default constructor. That's it. We've created the signature for our default constructor here. Now let's actually define it. So I'm going to hover over it and see the little green line there. I'm going to hover over this, hit the little screw button, the screwdriver, then create a definition for Pokemon in Pokemon.cpp. And there we go. And I'm going to, again, write a comment, call this the default constructor. And here we would define our attributes. We're not going to do that yet. Let's do something else first. Let's just have this print something out. So I'm going to first off include then caret IO stream. And then I'm going to do something called using namespace std. And we'll talk about what these are in a little bit in a later video. But for right now, we just want to use this and do cout, caret, and then quotation mark, you made a Pokemon. And then this is going to be new. We're going to do a \n. That's called an escape character. So it lets us return characters. So it lets us put things on a new line. We'll talk again about how to format all that stuff at a later point. So we define our default constructor. We get it in signature. And then we define how to actually use it. In this case, we just print something out. Now let's actually create our object. I'm going to go into GameManager.cpp. And here where it says setting our Pokemon team, I'm going to create a Pokemon. So I'll do Pokemon. And I'll just use Pikachu. Semicolon. And that's it. All we got to do. So we save that and click on run. You made a Pokemon. There we go. We made our object. And I can make another one. And I'll do Pokemon. And this one I'll do Charmander. Click on run. Now I made two Pokemon. These are two objects from the Pokemon class. When we talked about attributes, let's define some attributes. So here, I'm going to, in my Pokemon.h, let's define an attribute. I'll do int level. Right? So save that. And in my constructor on this Pokemon.cpp, I'm going to create a, let's do level equals 5, semicolon. Save that. Then I'm going to go back to Game Manager, and I'm going to delete the Charmander one because we saw that already. And what I'll do here is I will do a std : cout, caret, and I'll have this print out Pikachu dot level. So let's print out Pikachu's level. Press play, and it should print out 5. And it did, right there. Now, it didn't put it in its own line, which we can fix really quick. So let's go up here, let's go back here and delete the semicolon. We'll do caret, quotation mark, /n. Or you could also just do std end line. So maybe we can just do that instead. And then we'll press play and it should say 5. There we go. So we've accessed an attribute using the dot operator. I can even change that by doing like Pikachu.level equals 100. And now once I create Pikachu, I can assign the value of level to 100. And now it prints out 100 because we changed what the level is. So that was the default constructor. There are other constructors we can use. We can use a constructor method with a parameter where we can pass in specific data. So we don't have to set the value after we create an object. We can actually pass in the values to create the data with. That uses those parameters, such as this. Here we have Pokemon, and then string name, comma, int in level. And we set the in name to be, name equals in name. So we pass in what we want it to be. So the level to be, what do we pass in here? All right, so the constructor method, pass in the parameters to set your initial values. Let's go ahead and create this. So we want to take in a parameter for name and then for level. So I'm going to go into Pokemon.h and I'm going to create a new constructor and we'll do Pokemon, parentheses, and we'll do string name, string in name, and then int in level. I'm using in there, like saying this is what we're passing in. And then we actually need to include # include caret string, because we want to make sure we have the string values there. And then I'm going to hover over this structure and then create a definition. And there we go. So we have a constructor for Pokemon where we take a name and level. Oh, sorry, I forgot to do one thing. Here we need to add the attribute for string name. So now we can set those values here. So we'll do name equals in name. So we're taking we'll pass in the parameter and assign it to our object's name. Then I'll do level equals in level. I am getting an error here because of string and how it's being used. So I'm going to need to take this IO stream and std. I'm going to copy this here. And I'm actually going to paste this up here in Pokemon.h. That way we get access to it. Click on run. It runs, but it works, but we're not using this constructor yet. Before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and add in another cout. And we'll have it say, you made the Pokemon named, we'll do plus in name, plus quotation mark \n. So this should print out the name of the Pokemon that we created. Now if I go back to GameManager.cpp, I'll delete all this. Let's go ahead and use this new constructor. So I'll do Pokemon, and I'll do Bulbasaur, parentheses. Now we want to pass in the name. So we want to pass in quotation mark Bulba, and I'll just leave it at that actually, then comma, and I want it to be level 5. So this is going to call this constructor because it knows that based on the parameters that we gave it. We gave it a string and then an int, so it's going to call the one that has a string and an int. Press play. There, you made the Pokemon named Bulba. There we go. That works. So we now have the ability to create objects, and we can make as many as we want to. So we can define all our different attributes in here, and then we can create our different constructors based off of what data we want to pass into it. That's going to be it for this one. Thanks.